Welcome back to Dynamics. Okay, another movie review. Let's do Twisters. Saw Twisters the night before last, and let's see. Director Lee Isaac Chung, writers Mark L. Smith, Joseph Kosinski, Michael Crichton. Stars Daisy Edgar Jones, Glenn Powell, and Anthony Ramos. We'll get into those guys a little bit more here in just a moment. Um, my girlfriend's one of her favorite movies growing up, I guess, was Twister. And I think I've seen it. I'm pretty sure I've watched it before, but it wasn't like super relevant in my mind. And I was still able to enjoy the movie. So if you haven't seen it or haven't seen it in a really long time, it's not going to kill this movie for you. The story's not directly connected. It's just some references and things like that from what I'm seeing. But yeah, it was a pretty good movie. I'm gonna say getting close to really good. For what it was. Just popcorn flick, good times, right? All right. Let's talk about the actors, and then we'll go into the movie some more. I do kind of want to discuss something that I've noticed about this whole generation of stars, right? So let's start with Glenn Powell. Glenn Powell is well known for, let's see, recently, Top Gun Maverick is mostly what he's probably well known for. He was in Hidden Figures. He was in Everybody Wants Some. He was in Hitman. Let's see, what else has he I guess he did an episode of Rick and Morty. Anyone But You was the last big movie that he did, or relatively big movie. Oh, there goes the washer. I'm gonna have to fix that. He was in Devotion, Jurassic World, Camp Cretaceous as a voice. Let's see, anything else? 10 Days. Yeah. Anyways, he's kind of a guy that's like on the rise in Hollywood, and we're gonna be seeing way more movies from him. And I, jumping the gun a little bit, but basically, this movie they're probably building to a sequel. It doesn't really need one, but it looks like they're kind of building to one. And I think the only way they pull that off is if they're able to keep Glenn Powell. But Glenn Powell is moving on to bigger and better things, so they may not get that made. Um, he's the co-main, but I would actually say he was just underneath Daisy. Let's go back to her again real quick so I get her name right. Daisy Edgar Jones. So Daisy Edgar Jones is more of the main star of this movie, although it's really kind of a co-lead thing. And so she also would be needed for a sequel, and I don't know if she's really on to bigger and better things, probably, but she may be more likely to resign, but they kind of need both of them. Anyways, I wanted to go on a tangent with this movie review real quick before I move further into the movie review itself. But let's talk about Daisy Edgar Jones. What do you know her from? And this is kind of the direction of my tangent. She was from a TV miniseries called Normal People, a TV series called War of the Worlds, TV series called Cold Feet, Pond Life was a movie that she did. Let's see. War of the Worlds seems like, oh, yeah, that's right, Where the Crawdads Sing. So that's where definitely I know her from. Under the Banner of Heaven, she was actually in that. She was really good in that as well. Um, yeah, Normal People, we talked about that. Gentleman Jack. But yeah, so Where the Crawdads Sing is the big movie that she's from, and Under the Banner of Heaven is the big series that she's from. Also, War of the Worlds was apparently a decently long series. I don't think I ever saw that, though. Anyways, so what I wanted to talk about, and she is a really good actor. Really good is maybe a little bit much. I really enjoyed her in Where the Crawdads Sing, and Under the Banner of Heaven. In this movie, she was solid. Really good might be a little stretch, but she was solid in this movie as well. She is the main lead in this movie, even though, like I said, co lead type of situation. But they're definitely, the focus is on her, um, and Glenn Powell is kind of like the supporting, like just barely number two, right? Here's the thing. Glenn, and this is the tangent that I kind of wanted to go on. Glenn Powell is your traditional handsome man, like he's a star. He's going to be a big star, and he is moving forward and moving up. But for him to be able to do that, not only is he a good actor, he is also traditionally handsome, very great looking dude, and that's kind of what he has going for him. Great actor and good looking. It seems like the new generation of female stars can't be gorgeous. Like they can't be like just absolutely beautiful. They either have to be kind of plain, kind of generic looking, or like even on the ugly end of the spectrum, kind of like me, right? I would not be a leading man face, right? Well, so it seems like that's kind of like the push with Hollywood these days, is to have these kind of generic looking like female leads. They all kind of look alike to a certain degree, very very plain and boring looking, but none of that has to do with their acting ability. So let's just put that out there. She is a good actress. She was solid in Where the Crawdads Sing, and Under the Banner of Heaven, and she holds her own in this movie as well. And I would definitely want to see her in more stuff moving forward. But just kind of like just my little rant tangent thing is, you guys don't get the benefit of the doubt. Like you kind of got to be good and good looking. Women these days, it's apparently you can be a lead, and just be kind of generic looking, and we see that. And the problem with that is, there's not a problem with that as far as these generic women getting good careers, or ugly women getting good careers. That's fine. The problem with that is I can never tell them apart, right? So I didn't know for sure that she was even the lady from Where the Crawdads Sing, because there's like a handful of actresses that all kind of look the same, and it could have been any of them. So as far as standing out, as far as being an excellent actress, she's just not quite there. And so I don't know if any of them will be the ones that stand out and move on and become the big huge like lady actresses of our time, or whatever, of this generation. But they're all just kind of blah. But I would happily watch another movie with her, so we shall see. All right, rant done, tangent done. If you have a comment about that, I'm sorry if I offended you. Kind of. But that's just kind of how I see things moving. All right, let's go back. Who else is in this movie? This movie is also, I think this is the guy from Captain America, Brandon Perea. Let's see. Let me see. No, maybe it's the other guy. Let me see who the other guy is. Anthony Ramos. Maybe neither one of these guys is from. This isn't the same guy from the. That's going to be the new Falcon in Captain America. I'll have to look that up now. I'm a little thrown off by that. I thought it was. That's my bad. Anyways, okay. So let's look at. We'll look at Anthony Ramos first. I would say he's the third lead. He definitely is more of a supporting actor than the other two, but he's got a huge part in the movie, and does an amazing job, by the way. Anthony Ramos, you may know him from In the Heights. He was a part of Hamilton. He was in Transformers: Rise of the Beasts, I think is where I know him from. And A Star is Born. And let's see, he has another thing coming out here shortly called Distant. He was in Dumb Money. The Bad Guys. He was the voice of the piranha in The Bad Guys. He was a voice in Trolls Holiday. Let's see, Blind Spotting. All right. Anyways, yeah, I think where I know him from is Transformers. He was solid. He was solid in this movie too. Has definitely a unique look. So, when I'm talking about like traditional, good-looking Glenn Powell, and then you have this guy who's just got a great look, but distinct, and not the same as Glenn Powell's traditional like chiseled chin, muscly look. And when I keep saying that, like as a straight man, it's something I notice, but it's not just me because we were sitting in the theater next to a couple of little cougar ladies, and they were very excited by him. Especially the scene where he had just a white shirt on and he was getting rained on a little bit. They were appreciative of Mr. Powell. So it's not just me. This video's getting weird, man. It's weird. All right. Anyways, we'll go on to the next guy. This guy's got more of a smaller role, but he's solid in it. Brandon Perea. This is the guy that I thought was from Captain America. Let's see what else he's actually from. He was from Amp House Massacre, because the other guy, he's very distinct looking. I knew he wasn't, but this guy kind of looks like the guy from Captain America. Oh, this guy is the guy from Nope. He was really good in Nope too, by the way. Okay, that's right. Very, very good in Nope. I did a solid job in Twisters, but I think this is more like a step down. The role in Nope was a little bigger for him. He was in a series called The OA. He was in that Amp House Massacre. I'll have to check that out. Delivery, American Insurrection, Oh Sorry, Doom Patrol. He was, one episode of Doom Patrol. Okay. All right. So yeah, I remember him from Nope. He was really good in Nope, and held his own in this movie, but like it's a smaller role, and it's kind of a quirky role, but fun, good times. He was fun in this movie. Who do we have next? We have some other smaller roles. We have Maura Tierney came back in this one. You may know her from ER. She was also in Liar Liar back in the day. Insomnia. More recently, she was in Iron Claw. She was great as Doris Von Erich in Iron Claw. And American Rust, she was in that. The Affair, Beautiful Boy. But yeah, so she was an actress back, like a couple decades ago, but like looks like she's been steadily working. So, and she was the mother of Daisy's. Daisy's character's name is Kate, and Glenn Powell's name is Tyler. Kate's mom is who Maura Tierney plays. Her name's Kathy. There was a character named Ben, played by Harry Hayden Patton, who's a journalist. What do we know him from? The Crown. He was also in The Crown. Oh, I talked about that in Deadpool. Downton Abbey, some other British stuff. Let's see, who else do we have in here? We have Sasha Lane. She played a character named Lily. She is from American Honey. And yeah, it looks... Oh, Loki. She was Hunter C-20 in Loki. Okay, I remember her from that. Actually, I do remember her from that. She was in Hellboy. Oh, the 2019 Hellboy. Okay. All right. And then anybody else I want to touch on here? Oh, yes, there are a couple more. That I didn't realize that's who that was. So there's a character named Scott, plays second in command to Javi, Anthony Ramos's Javi. He's played by David Corenswet. David Corenswet is going to be the new Superman. So he's in this movie. I didn't realize that's who that was. What else do we know him from? Just so you know about who's going to be the new Superman. He was in Pearl. I really enjoyed him in Pearl. It was a relatively small role, but he was good. Pearl's a great movie, by the way. One of those Mia Goth X movies. He was in The Politician. He's going to be in Lady in the Lake. He's going to be in Superman. And yeah, all right. What was he well known for? Let's see. I guess The Politician. House of Cards. He was in only an episode of House of Cards, though. Okay. But yeah, that's your new Superman. And then Tundi Adebempe is Dexter. And let's see, do we know him from anything? Spider-Man: Homecoming, Mr. Caldwell. Mr. Caldwell. Okay. And then let's see, anybody else? Anybody else? Paul Scheer makes a cameo as airport traffic police. That was fun. He's a comedian. Let's see. Do you know him from anything? What do you know him from? The League, and I guess he was in Black Monday. Interesting. Okay. All right. But yeah, yeah. He's you see him in a lot of stuff as kind of like the supporting comedic role. But he just kind of had a cameo in this one. That was fun. Yeah, all right, that's who we're going to talk about. Concept of the movie is Daisy Ridley's character, not Daisy Ridley, sorry, Daisy Edgar Jones. See what I'm talking about? Kate's character, when she's a little younger, it's like 5 years. She's trying to do this science research project where she's trying to figure out how to dissipate a tornado using this substance, like a polymers or something. She thinks she's going to be able to dissipate a tornado, but she's kind of in over her head. They end up coming across a much bigger tornado than they were expecting. Ends up getting her boyfriend and two of her friends killed. Her and Javi survive that incident. 5 years later, Javi comes to her, says he's got some new equipment that he wants to test, and he wants her to help him. And they go out and they start trying to test this new equipment to see if they can get more information about tornadoes. They still would like to be able to figure out how to stop tornadoes. And they run into Glenn Powell's character, who has a team of storm chasers who have like a YouTube channel, and they end up having the first, at first a conflicting relationship, and then kind of a more romantic relationship between Kate and Tyler, and then the movie moves forward from there, and they try to dissipate a big tornado, and they have to try it a couple times and change their models and figure out what they're doing wrong. And Tyler's the one who actually gives her the final bit of information that she needs to be able to solve the problem. But without complete spoilers, it builds to a sequel. And I'm not sure if we're going to get that sequel. I'm not sure if they really expect to make the sequel, or they just kind of were like, well, we'll build to one in case we're able to make a sequel. I'm hoping it's more that. But yeah, they need the two main actors to be able to pull that off. A lot of the supporting actors would be nice too. If they do a sequel, I'll watch it, but it's not a movie I need. Anyways, enjoyed the movie. Hopefully you weren't too annoyed by my rant, my tangent. And yeah, everybody take care. Have a good day.